Hello everybody, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Every Monday we're live right here on YouTube. But if you're looking for more great Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, or advice, you can always check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Plenty more waiting for you over there. And as I mentioned, we are streaming this video live, answering your cruise questions. And every Monday we do this. We usually have a topic, or we answer questions, or we do both. And today we're answering your Royal Caribbean cruise questions, guys. So you have a question about your upcoming sailing? Let's answer or do as much as I can here. Joining us here, and Senator Abby, you are correct. We are a little early today. Like to mix up the schedule sometimes, get everybody an opportunity to join us here live on board. Hope you're having a great Monday. Happy start to the week. And if you're like, oh, Matt, Mondays, why are you excited for Mondays? I always tell you and always remind you, that means Mondays mean we're 1 week closer to your next cruise. Remember that one over there. Adrian's going to start us off with our first question of the day. Do we need to register for the teen program? No, you don't, Adrian. For Adventure Ocean, or the Teens Club, or the Nursery, there is no opportunity to pre-register. You simply do it on the first day of your sailing. Bryce, any news of the Quantum of the Seas refurb? Negative, sir. Jackson, what ship should I sail with? Want to have a good time on your cruise. Well, there's a lot of great choices. Well, for first-time cruisers, I always recommend a Oasis or Quantum class ship that is about 7 nights in length. I think the ship offers you the most options you can choose from, and the duration, 7 nights, gives you ample opportunity for port days, sea days, and it really, as a new cruiser, you're not sure what you really like or don't like yet because you haven't tried it yet. So that's why I like having that opportunity to have enough time to get it all in there. Jamie is going to book cabanas in Labadee. How much are they, Jamie? So, Jamie, the cost of cabanas will vary. You have to go to the cruise planner. They range, in my experience, on Labadee, cabanas range in the ballpark of $2.99 to about $5.99. Depends on the type of cabana, basically where they're located. Tier Ellison, what's my Periscope name? It's the same name as my Twitter account, the RCL blog. And Tier, we have a link to our Periscope account at Royal Caribbean Blog as well. Popular Kim, how about seasickness supplies? I carry Bonine. Bonine is an over-the-counter medication. You take it once every 24 hours. Works pretty well. The only side effect is it makes you sleepy, but who doesn't enjoy a nap on a cruise ship, right? G-Man, what's the best thing to do to Rhapsody of the Seas? My friend, the best thing on Rhapsody of the Seas is Izumi. Their location is up in the former Viking Crown Lounge. It's amazing views up there. Really, really like it. Kobe Blackman wants to know, how early before my cruise should I book my excursions? You know, that's a really good question. I would tell you that you should start researching them as soon as you can. The earlier, the better. It's not to say that they're going to sell out necessarily, but I think when it comes to excursions, it behooves you to do the proper research to find out what you want to do and then compare as many options as you can. Fatima, is it true that Anthem of the Sea is sailing from Bayonne, New Jersey next year? If so, what ship is next? Yeah, so Anthem is right there from Bayonne. Next year will be Oasis. Oasis comes in the summer, and Anthem goes over to Europe, and then Anthem comes back, and Oasis goes back somewhere else in Florida over there. Let's see here. David Potts, are there not DreamWorks characters in Royal Caribbean ships? No, David. Royal Caribbean ended its relationship with the DreamWorks and characters and the programming that was associated with that. Raphael, any hidden secrets on Oasis of the Seas you would share with us? Oh man, first of all, Raphael, we do have a great blog post at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com with the top 10 Oasis of the Seas hidden secrets. I would tell you first and foremost, you got to check out the small wonders. So all around the ship, you'll see things that they're sticking out of the ground, look like telescopes or periscopes, and most people just walk by them. But take a second and look into them. Each single one of them has a little piece of art that you can enjoy and look at, and it's kind of a neat little scavenger, a good sea day activity to try to find them all. There's lots. If you can't find them all, go to Guest Services. They have a list of where you can find them. What supplies can Kim wants to know, what supplies can a use to not get? Oh, I already answered that question. There you go. Sheila is here. Welcome, Sheila. Reen going on Symphony in April 2021. Nice. Jane Valdetero going on Enchantment of the Seas. First timer. Is the key worth it? Jane, if you're not staying in a suite, you're not very high up in Crown and Anchor site, which you're not your first timer, and you were already going to buy the internet, I think it can be. I think it can be worthwhile. Or it's more if you answered yes to or no to all those three things, then or yes to all those three things, I should say, then it's more, there's more value in that, so to speak. Ben's going on Anthem with 3 kids. Cheapest way is 2 inside rooms that are not interconnected. Bit bummed about it. Any recommendations to fix? Are you bummed about the fact they're not connected, Ben, or are you bummed about your room selection? I mean, Having 2 rooms is the way to go, Ben. I've got 2 kids. I love my children. I do not love sleeping in the same room as them. Having 2 smaller rooms is better than 1 large room, in my opinion. It gives you separation, provides an extra bathroom, and oftentimes it is cheaper than like getting a suite or something like that. Now, if you're bummed about the non-connecting aspect of it, my advice to you is periodically check back. People cancel all the time. You especially want to check back closer to final payment date. Aditya says, do I recommend Harmony or Oasis? They're both excellent ships. They're both Oasis class ships, so therein lies, the differences are less than you may think. I prefer Harmony personally, but they're both great, and I would probably go with pricing more than anything in that situation. Jose Penny is about to land in JFK. Majesty Cruise is over. Womp womp. Squigs, is it true the key no longer offers priority debarkation? I'm not aware of that policy change, Squigs, unless something literally changed in the last couple days here. Megan wants to know, any word on the renovations of Freedom this season? Not yet. Royal Caribbean has not announced what changes are coming to Freedom. I will post them at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com as soon as it occurs. As soon as we know more information about it, I should say. Reen, is it worth getting the drink package for an adult? If you drink enough every day, absolutely. The drink package is one of those things where if you drink enough every day of your cruise, it can be worthwhile. Basically, this is a generalization because there's a lot of ways to break even on a drink package. But if you're going to be drinking 5 to 6 drinks a day every day of your cruise, absolutely. And if you're sitting there and saying, wait a minute, 5 to 6 drinks? That's crazy. Who would drink 5 to 6 drinks a day? Well, number 1, remember you're on vacation and on a cruise ship. Number 2, if you think about it, it's really not that hard, right? You wake up in the morning, you go have a premium coffee. Maybe you have a Bloody Mary in the morning. Then in the afternoon, you have a drink or 2. Then at dinner, you have a drink or 2. And then you have maybe 1 or 2 drinks at dinner. You're talking about 7 or 8 drinks. Easy right there. Luigi, what's your favorite alcoholic drink to get while on a cruise? Oh man, Lava Flow, Kraken Rum. Love that. Make sure you get the Kraken Rum with that. Julian just booked a sailing on Harmony of the Seas for next October through MEI Travel. First time using them. The service up till now has been awesome. Well, Julian, thank you so much. Of course, as many of you know, I am a giant proponent of using travel agents, and MEI Travel is our official sponsor of RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Cindy, can I take a small extra clip-on fan on board? I don't see why not. John Dunn, can you get Coastal Kitchen on Anthem if you're in a junior spa suite? Yes, for dinner only, John, not for breakfast or lunch. Don is going on Harmony of the Seas on Sunday. What's the best thing to do on the ship, my friend? There's so many great things. I love the entertainment on there. Columbus the Musical you got to do. You've got to go eat at 150 Central Park. You got to eat at Izumi Hibachi. You've got to, you got to go do the zip line on board. You've got to go take a ride on the carousel at night. Anybody can do it daytime too, why not? But make sure you do a night trip over there. Go to Central Park at night, and each evening there is it's either a pianist or a violinist, some sort of musician performing there. One of the best things ever. Got to find Onboard Harmony of the Seas, the stowaway piano player. You might be saying, stowaway who? Stowaway piano player. When you see him, you'll know what I'm talking about. Aditya, how and where do you get a Royal Caribbean agent to help you book a cruise? There's a lot of great travel agents out there. I personally recommend and use MEI Travel. If you go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, there's a giant yellow form you'll see there. Fill that out. They'll contact you. And full disclosure, they're a sponsor. I think I've said they're a sponsor, but full disclosure, they're a sponsor. Lillian, if I get pregnant, do you think something about the Royal Caribbean Police? Basically, I think I know what your question is. Like, if you get pregnant, does that mean you can't go on the cruise? You can go on a cruise up to a certain week. I forget the threshold. I thought it was 20-something weeks. It's not 20. It's like 20, 24, 27, something like that. I forget the exact threshold. Check with the Royal Caribbean. As long as you're before that threshold, you're good to go. But after that threshold, it's just not safe to do so. So do yourself a favor. You're not cheating Royal Caribbean. You're cheating yourself in case there's ever any kind of situation. Vanessa, any advice on ironing or bringing a steamer on a cruise? You're not allowed to bring either one. So, and I know what you're thinking, Vanessa. How am I going to get the wrinkles out of my clothes? A couple of good options for alternatives for you. Number 1, well, the easiest one is you can send it out to be pressed. Royal Caribbean does offering pressing service. It's not that expensive especially compared to like dry cleaning it, where obviously the clothing is clean. You just want to iron it out. Pressing is the easiest because you just give it to somebody else and somebody else does it for you. Alternatively, Downy has a product called Wrinkle Release Spray. You can buy it on Amazon or anywhere really. You just spray your clothes and boop, all the wrinkles are gone. You can do it low tech, and you can simply turn on your shower, fill up your whole bathroom with steam, and leave your clothes in there. That works as well. Sandra, best restaurant to visit worth the money on Symphony of the Seas, 150 Central Park. Sydney Forrester, is the key limited to a certain amount of slots per sailing? Yes, it is supposed to be. Halima, is room upgrade auction, does it work? It does, but it's very misleading. What I mean by that is just because you have the option doesn't actually mean there's a room upgrade. So it's kind of a you're kind of just hoping for the best kind of situation there. Kim, is the cruise air conditioned? Absolutely. Can't imagine going on a ship that's not air conditioned. Squeeze, you recommend tipping the concierge for grand suites. If they provide you exceptional service, I do think it is worthwhile. Sorry, my lighting here seems to be... I'll have to look at that later. Any tips to successfully win a royal up bid? Full of Soul Music wants to know. Make the best bid you can. It's tough. It's honestly, there's not. But it's, I wish I had a better strategy. Bid as much as you can. Marcus, Liller in 90 days. Tier going on Grandeur in 87 days. Awesome. Garth going, is there this is an early live stream today, you really missed it? It is. And Garth wants to know, for Embarkation Day lunch, Cafe 270 or Solarium Bistro? Ooh. Cafe 270 if you just want something quick to go. Solarium Bistro if you want to sit down. But they're both excellent choices. Nadia wants to know, what time does the Flow Rider open? Depends on your ship. The easiest way to figure it out ahead of your sailing is to go to look at past cruise compass. We keep an archive of past cruise compasses at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Susan wants to know, is Allure of the Sea still safe to sail on? Absolutely yes. I mean, I know this almost sounds cliche, but safety really is like the #1 priority for Royal Caribbean. And I know that they're dealing with some propeller issues on one of the propellers on the ship. It just means they can't go as fast. There's nothing wrong. It's not broken. It's not unsafe. It's very safe to go on. I don't know if this makes you feel any better. It's been like this for a little while now, and obviously no issues. Laney says, well, how do we know what theme night to pack for? Exactly. You got to read a past cruise compass. Same answer I gave earlier about, I forgot what the question was already. Yeah, I'm fixing the out of focus. Sorry about that, guys. I just noticed that's out of focus. Off, on. Look at that. Magic. Fixed. Sorry about that. But thank you, Ethan. I do appreciate that. But anyway, if you want to see the theme nights, like what nights are formal nights, what nights are 70s nights, look at a past cruise compass. We have an archive of them at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Dennis wants to know, if you buy liquor at the port, are you allowed to bring it on the ship? You can, but they're going to confiscate it from you and give it back to you on the last night of the cruise. Sophia, can you advise on excursion websites besides the Cruise Planner? The two websites I like, that I usually go with, Sophia, it's a really good question, by the way. ShoreExcursioneer.com. Shore Excursioneer. So it's excursion with an extra ER at the end. ShoreExcursioneer.com. ResortForADay.com. Those are two good spots I start off with when I'm looking for other options. And of course, Google is your friend. Google, Cozumel excursions, and you'll find a lot of options as well. Freddie's going on Royal Caribbean in about 9 days. Congratulations. Doing the single-digit dance. Love it. Can you provide me with any tips on what I should do at Costa Maya and Cozumel? Freddie, we just posted on our channel last week a brand new video about what to do in Cozumel. So check out that video. Costa Maya, Freddie, I would recommend Maya Chance. An all-inclusive day pass. Great spot there. Holy moly! We got a super chat from Rolo Largan. Woo! Thank you, Rolo. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Vanessa, what would you suggest? C-bands or the medicine for first-time cruisers? Vanessa, I've never used C-bands. I have used over-the-counter medication. It works for me. I prefer over-the-counter, so I recommend Bonine in your situation. Halima, can you drink can of soda on the ship? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Charnel Pickney. Sorry, Charnel. I am doing well. Glad to have you here. Unicorns Life. What advice would you give for solo cruisers? First of all, I love the name. Second of all, if you're going on a cruise by yourself, you're gonna love it. A couple things you should do. Number one, if you're ever feeling a little lonely, like you want to talk to somebody, crew members are awesome at this. I mean, they're kind of lonely too. They're on the job, so they're getting paid to talk to you. Strike up conversations with crew members. It's a great idea. Number two, consider social media as well. Share your cruise. We have a live blog section at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Maybe share your cruise on there. That way you get to feel like you're talking to other people, and it gives you an activity to do on board. That's a really good idea. And number three, don't be shy. I mean, don't be afraid to go to a specialty restaurant and have a table for one. No one cares. If you think everyone's looking at you, let me tell you something. Nobody cares. You'll have a great, great time. Charlie Stovall, are the beds softer on Symphony of the Seas? I've never had an issue with the beds. You're asking the wrong person, Charlie. I think they've all been pretty comfortable to me, but I also like a firm mattress, so, it's one of those subjective kind of things there. Squiggies, where to purchase the key once inside the cruise planner? Should be under internet and more. That tab over there. Don, are we still allowed to go to San Juan, Puerto Rico? Absolutely. Absolutely. Fostered Fashion has a food question for me. I love those questions. What is the price range for the promenade restaurants like Playmakers, Irish pub restaurants, etc.? Is it cheaper than the restaurants on the street? It's about average. I think Fostered Fashion, you'll find that it's about what you probably pay for, a burger, wings at a normal restaurant here in the U.S. We have a Facebook group, Fostered Fashion, that I run called Royal Caribbean Dining. Just search for Royal Caribbean Dining. You'll find there's 10,000 members there. Join that group, Fostered Fashion. It's free, and you can also we have a lot of menus, including menus with pricing from those restaurants you're talking about there. Lightbro, does Royal Caribbean plan on being able to use the HDMI port? No, there's two problems. Number one, some TVs, the port is actually inaccessible because the TV is set against the wall. But even if it is accessible, the remote does not allow you to change inputs, so it's kind of useless in that regard. Let's see here. Raheel wants to know, does My Time Dining work okay for a big group? Actually, no. Now, it depends what you say by big group. The larger, if you have more than 6 people, my recommendation is to do traditional dining. It's far easier and simpler to coordinate. Daisy, if I booked through a travel agent and got Chops Grill complimentary, do I have to make a reservation? Yes. You still do. I mean, you could show up without one. Just understand, Daisy, they may say, oh, we're full right now. But you should still make a reservation. But you're not going to make it online, Daisy. You're going to make it on board the ship. Cindy from El Paso joining us. What do you like to do in Nassau, Bahamas? I've got 3 choices for you. The most popular choice is to go to Atlantis Resort. Atlantis is a major resort you get access to. Number 2, if you want a less expensive beach day, I would recommend the British Colonial Hilton. If you want something completely different that has no beach involved, I would recommend Jetline Simulations. Fly a flight simulator. You get to go in a Boeing 737 flight simulator, learn to fly the real thing. It's really cool. Oh, Joe Young with a super chat. Holy moly. Joe writes, thanks for all the great advice. I really enjoy all the tips. Well, Joe, thank you for the super chat. That is so generous of you. I'm very, very, very thankful. Thank you for the very kind donation. Joseph Kaiser, have I ever done the all-access tour on the ship? I have. It's neat. If you're Joseph, if you're sitting there thinking, it might be kind of cool to see the bridge or the galley or the engine room, then the tour is for you. No question about it. Lightbro, when is the best time to get deals like drink package and internet? My advice is book it. If you know you want like a drink package or the internet, buy it today. Book it right now. Well, maybe not right now because you're watching my video, but after this video, book it right then and there. And then what happens is if there's a price change, a price drop because of a cruise plan or sale, you can always cancel and rebook if the price gets lower. The reason why I'm telling you to book it now is if the price goes up, by booking it now, you'll have guarded against that situation. So you can always cancel and rebook and get a lower price, but you're guarded against a price increase. Stephen Foster wants to know, what's the best smaller Royal Caribbean ship if only done Oasis class ships? Wow. Well, pretty much every ship is smaller than the Oasis class. But if you want a small ship, a Radiance class, Brilliance of the Seas is fabulous. Only Hope, what happens if you miss your preferred dining time? You could, I'm not sure if you're in My Time Dining or traditional. Obviously, there's a lot of complimentary restaurants that are available to you. You've got, the Windjammer, you've got Cafe Promenade. You're not going to go hungry. There are complimentary venues that require no reservations. You can easily slide in there. Heck, you go to a specialty restaurant and ask for a walk-up reservation, table. You're like, I don't have a reservation. Can I slide in here? Oftentimes the answer is yes. If you're in My Time Dining, you can always just go back into the line and wait for the next available table there. Angela wants to know, what ship would I recommend for a single mom and a 10-year-old on a 7-day to the Caribbean from Florida? Harmony of the Seas, Symphony, any of the Oasis class. Harmony, Symphony, Oasis Allure, all great choices. As well as, I'm trying to give you another good option, 7 nights. That's a harder one to answer. I would say the Oasis class. I think that's really where you're going in that situation. Dennis Jeffrey, how are the casinos in Royal Caribbean? If you win, they're amazing. They're actually a lot of fun. I enjoy the casinos. What I like about the casinos in Royal Caribbean, the minimums tend to be lower than on land. Oh, Ian Gill with a super chat. He gave me 5 quid. Did I get that right? £5. Ian writes, we are UK cruisers on our first Royal Caribbean cruise sailing from Singapore on Quantum in February 2020. What should we be aware of? First of all, thank you, Ian, for the super chat. Second of all, you should be aware that in China, now Singapore I know is not China, Asian, let's call this. In the Asian cruise market, Quantum has very different rules than the rest of the fleet, Ian. And it's your first cruise. So the good news is you're not used to anything. But you should be aware that certain experiences, certain signature experiences, like the North Star or the skydiving simulator, Ripcord by iFly, cost extra in Asia, whereas here in the US or even in the UK, it would not cost extra. So plan ahead accordingly. And my other advice to you, Ian, is read a past cruise compass. It's really the way to go. We've got a question from Elias, who is looking to do your first cruise in December on the Oasis. What are some of the best sites to look for deals? Elias, let me let you in on a little secret here. The price is the same everywhere. So what you should do is book it as soon as you can. The earlier you book, the better the price will be. Jay with a super chat. Thank you, Jay. Jay wants to know, are room service fees waived for junior suites? They are not, my friend. It's only available for grand suites and above. Because despite the name, junior suites aren't really sweet. Baby Jess, does Royal Caribbean have transportation to the shore excursions? If you book it through Royal Caribbean and it says it does, then yes. I mean, I don't know any shore excursion that Royal Caribbean offers that does not offer transportation, unless of course it's like something right at the pier or something like that. Brenda with a super chat. Wow, guys, you guys are so nice. Is it common to tip more than you're prepaid, Brenda? It is sometimes, yeah. I wouldn't tell you this, Brenda. You should not go into it thinking you absolutely have to tip more than the automatic gratuities that are there. If someone, you'll know, Brenda, it's one of those feelings like in your gut where you're like, you know, this crew member is really going above and beyond. Like, you're like, when you say the words wow and like, can't believe they did that, that's when you know you should tip them extra. But certainly, you know, your automatic gratuities that go towards your wait staff, they go towards your stateroom attendant, they do a great job. That's what they earn there. And hey, if you feel they're, let me give you the example, Brenda. I'm going to give you an example of that situation if you need to visualize this. I was on Majesty of the Seas last year, 2018, and about halfway through, what we do as a family is our method for dirty laundry is we go in the closet, we create a little pile of clothing, and that's our dirty laundry method, right? Maybe it's a little TMI, but that's what we do. Anyway, about halfway through the cruise, I noticed that my dirty clothing was getting folded. So I said to my wife, I said, why are you folding my dirty laundry? And she's like, I'm not folding your dirty laundry. Well, then if you're not doing it, I'm not doing it, and the kids aren't doing it, I figured out was the room attendant. So in this situation, I was like, you know what? The room attendant deserves some extra money over there. Savannah, what is the best room on an Oasis class ship? Savannah, the one you happen to be on. It's as simple as that. They're all great. If you want my personal favorite or one that's a really good value, Central Park balconies. Martha Navarro, is Wonderland really worth it? We're paying for only one specialty restaurant for a birthday on Symphony. It's a really fun experience, Martha. As long as you're semi-adventurous, like, you know, if all you eat is hamburgers and chicken fingers, probably not for you. But otherwise, definitely a great choice. A little fun. I took my parents to Wonderland on Anthem of the season. They absolutely loved it. Francois says, do you ever feel the difference in food quality and menu choice over years on main dining room? I think they've been pretty consistent, Francois. The menu has changed. I mean, you can objectively say the menu has changed because it has. But I think they still maintain a very good balance of most of the food in the main dining room is what I consider to be somewhere between good and very good. There are a couple outliers that are, you know, like, ugh. And then there are a couple outliers that are like, wow, that was excellent, right? Like, I mean, just like, that's surprisingly good. So I feel like that's always been the case, you know? Not everything is the most gourmet food you've ever had in your entire life, but most of it is pretty good. And then you got some outliers on both sides of that spectrum. Daisy wants to know, when are the formal nights on a 7-day cruise? So Daisy, you're going to have 2 formal nights. Usually it's the first one's day 2, and the second one's day 5 or 6. The easy way to figure out the answer to this question, more firm answer, Daisy, is look at a past cruise compass. We keep an archive of them at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Paul Somerville, how long have you been doing this Royal Caribbean thing? RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com started in 2010, so we just hit 9 years back in June. So 9 years, still going strong. Let's see here. Dahlia, 27 Days of Freedom of the Seas. What do you recommend? Oh my gosh, you got to eat at Sabor, which is one of my favorite specialty restaurants. You got to do that. You got to see the shows in the main theater. You got to go play mini golf. And you got to see Sail Away from on the helipad. Do all those things. Jay with another super chat. Thank you, Jay. Are gratuities prepaid if you have My Time dining? They are, yes. In fact, when you have My Time, they're automatic. So yes, absolutely. Rafsky, when booking 2 cabins, can I get a key for each? Yes. I've had the situation, Rafsky, where you got kids in one room, you and your wife are in another one. Go to guest services once on board. They can get one for you. Rudy, first time able to catch you live. Your blogs are great. My wife and I are taking our second honeymoon next June 21st on Liberty. Congratulations, and love having you guys here. Steven, any idea of a ballpark price range for a Royal Loft Suite? I know they can vary from ship to ship. No, I can't. You're asking the wrong person there, Steven. It really does vary. No. Even if you told me the ship and the sailing date, I really can't, Steven. A good travel agent might be able to advise you there. Of course, Steven, you can always make mock bookings on Royal Caribbean's website and kind of see what they're going for. Zenobia wants to know, any good shore excursions for Bermuda? Horseshoe Bay. You'll love that one. Raphael, does the daily compass change from a European cruise to a Caribbean cruise? To some extent, yes. I mean, there's going to be some variation, especially when you're always going to see a difference in port versus when you're at sea. Because in port days, you have a lot less activities while the ship is in port. And then obviously when the ship leaves port, you get a lot more. So yes, you're going to see a change there. And I know what you're kind of going there with Raphael is you're trying to figure out, well, I'm going on a European cruise compass, can't find one, but I can find one for the same ship in the Caribbean. It's better than nothing, but I would say you're still better off reading it than not reading it. Nom Nom wants to know, how is the crowd control on Oasis-class ships? Phenomenal, actually. You might think with a ship that can accommodate about 6,000 passengers that it would be like a sardine can. But you know what? Royal Caribbean designed its ship, the Oasis-class, with crowds in mind. They wanted to make sure there was not going to be any issues there. And so the layout of the ship is designed to help disperse crowds. The entertainment activities are designed to spread crowds around. So really, I think you'll find it not too bad at all. Shannon, does the key still do early debarkation? I believe it does. Unless something, you're the second person, Shannon, that's asked me that question. Unless something's changed in the last couple days, I don't anticipate there'll be any issues there. Chris wants to know, what's the email address to request a private table near a window for dinner? I believe it is RCL Dining. Hang on a second. I'm going to get you the email right now. Chris, 1 second. The answer is rcldining@rccl.com. So I'll post it in our chat over there. Hopefully you can find it there. Roz wants to know, do you remember when they used to have chocolate night and then you could dive in and enjoy it? Wish they would do that again. I don't remember that specifically, but they do have chocolate night in the Windjam Air, at least one of the nights. I've seen it. I posted photos of it. I've seen it on Harmony. I've seen it on Symphony. And on other ships as well. Melody booked Empress of the Seas for July 2020 out of New York. Awesome! Senrab, does the Guacamole class include lunch at Sabor? They don't, but you get a lot of food with it. You're not going to leave hungry. Eden, would you recommend cruising if you're pregnant, or is that a bad idea? It's a great idea. You'll save a lot of money on alcohol, but make sure you understand the rules. For if you're pregnant, there is a certain threshold you cannot be passed in pregnancy. And I'm going to get you the answers. You're the second person to ask me that. The answer is, as long as you are not... pregnant women who have entered the 24th week of estimated fetal gestational age at any time during the cruise should not be eligible to sail. So as long as you're before your 24th week, at any point in the cruise, you're good to go. And thank you, Freddie, also, for confirming that information. Daniel, why is Izumi more expensive than Izumi Hibachi? The sushi? Well, first of all, Izumi sushi is a la carte. I mean, you could theoretically eat like a ton of food and rack up a higher price. Ravsky, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Very kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are feeling very generous today. I love that. Very, very nice of you guys. Fostered Fashion got another question. I had a room assigned to me that is located under the Windjam Air. Should I expect noise because of this location? Not necessarily. I have had rooms all over the ship, Fostered, and there have been times where I'm telling my wife, I'm like, we're not going to sleep tonight. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But you know what? The noise bleed is pretty well regulated there. Keep in mind, Fostered Fashion, if you have an assigned room and they give you that room, what you should do is, if there's still availability, if you can find another room of the same category, and I say the same category, I'm not talking like interior balcony, I'm talking like category 6V or whatever it is that you have. If there's another room of the same category available, you can change that room with no additional cost. So it might be worth double checking on that, just to make yourself feel better. But if not to worry, you'll have a great time. Center out with all these super chats, you're going to be... Missed the chat there. You'll be doing more afternoon live shows, I guess so. Michael has got a $14,000 room on Quantum of the Seas. Michael, can I interest you in sponsoring a certain blog about Royal Caribbean? Sandra, how can I reserve the slides on Water Park for Symphony of the Seas? To go to Perfect Day Coco Key, you go to the Cruise Planner website. Go to Royal Caribbean's website, log in, book it over there. Chip, are the rooms facing the promenade extremely loud? No. I've stayed in them before. You might, look, I'm not going to pretend you're not going to hear anything, but at night for sleeping, you'll be fine. Ron Ladowski in the house. Is the food at El Loco Fresh as good as Sabor, which I love? No, but it's different and it's not bad in itself, Ron. I mean, look, Sabor I love, you love, we all love, but it's still pretty good. It's actually, Ron, the El Loco Fresh reminds me a lot of like maybe a Moe's Southwest Grill type experience. Madden Killers Lounge. Again, I love these YouTube names. What time should I get on the ship? I recommend getting on as early as you can, my friend. I would recommend to get to the terminal at 11 a.m. if you can. Shannon, is Royal Caribbean still porting in Puerto Rico with the ride and all that's going on? Yeah, that was like a couple of weeks ago, Shannon. It's totally cool now. You're good to go. Jason, love all the tips. Do you have any experience with Royal Up? I'm booked on Harmony October 6th. Royal Up is Royal Caribbean's stateroom bidding upgrade program. Keep in mind that just because you see an upgrade opportunity doesn't actually mean there is one, but put the best bid you can in. Hope for the best. Andrew, what's the typical cost for children at specialty restaurants? So as if they're between the ages of 3 and under, they're free, complimentary. 4 through 12, they have a flat fee for kids, and then above that, they're considered adults. So they pay the adult prices. If you have kids, do not make reservations for them online. Just show up with them, and you'll be able to sit down with them. The only exception to that rule I just gave you, by the way, a little trick about showing up with them, not making reservations for kids, is Izumi Hibachi. If you want to do the hibachi, book a reservation for them, pay the adult price. When you get to the restaurant, let them know, hey, I paid an adult price for these kids. They will refund you back the difference. English guy, 321. I'm British and I get seasick on ships. I'm not sure why being British plays in that, but okay. Do the boats rock often? Not as much as you think. It's going on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship is not like going on your buddy's fishing boat. You know, it's a lot calmer. The ships are much larger. They have a lot of technology to help stabilize the ship. I think in general you will find not so much of an issue. But if not, my friend, good news. There is wonderful medicine that you can purchase over the counter to combat those effects. Dan, so the TVs have satellite channels. They do. They offer a multitude of channels from around the world. They have a lot of international feeds as well. There's Portuguese feeds. There's Japanese language feeds. German, French, Spanish. Steve, itinerary changed and added NASA. What is one must-do in NASA? I haven't been impressed with the port in the past. If you've been there, done that, Steve, jet line simulations. It used to be offered through Royal Caribbean. It's not anymore. Not to worry. It's basically you can fly a Boeing 737 flight simulator for a Boeing 737. You don't actually fly the real thing. But it's a lot of fun, dude. Very different. It's not like going to the beach. I think you'll like it quite a bit. We have a full review of it at royalcaribbeanblog.com. Jose Daniel Delgado, 150 Central Park or Sabor. You told me Sabor, but as a Mexican, wouldn't you go to another one? That's a really good question. You know, look, if you're not in the mood for Mexican food, or you think your Mexican food is far better than anything any restaurant can give you, sure, go. They're both great choices, by the way. You're not making a mistake. Rudy, is the key been available on Liberty? Yes. It should be available on any North American sailing. Arjun, what is the email that sent Royal Caribbean for dietary restrictions like gluten allergies? Gluten, you don't need to send an email to. They already handle it automatically. There's nothing special you have to warn them about. So first of all, you're going to see gluten-free options to begin with. You walk into that Windjammer, there is going to be in the Windjammer a special gluten-free area. Obviously, in addition to that, there are some foods that are naturally gluten-free to begin with, so you're good to go on there. And then any restaurant you go to, just let them know you do not eat gluten, and they can accommodate you on the spot. Certain dietary restrictions require a heads up notice. Not this time. Kim, can you wear a dress on the ship? Absolutely. Let's see here. Hazel says, I would say Royal Caribbean International Cruise is the best. Well, Hazel, you are in the right place, my friend. Shane is sailing on Allure of the Seas August 18th. Nice. Matthew wants to know, when is Odyssey of the Seas debuting? It's going to debut sometime next year. We don't have a firm date yet. Hazel wants to know, is Royal Caribbean going to have a new ship anytime soon? Yes, Odyssey of the Seas is the next new ship. In fact, there's like 6 more ships on order for Royal Caribbean. So the next couple of years, guys, be pretty busy. But Odyssey is the next coming out next year. J Moss, is Allure of the Seas going to dry dock earlier than scheduled since the propulsion problem? Not that I'm aware of. Nothing has been announced to that effect, J Moss. Garth, if I get a WOW band, do you still have to carry your card around for chairside service in the solarium? No. Your WOW band, you can take off your WOW band and give it to them, or they have the mobile scanner. They can do that for you. But you will still need your SeaPass card for getting on and off the ship. That you still need it for. And Muster Joe. JC wants to know, are they going to retire the small ships as the new ones come online? No, not necessarily. This is not a musical chair situation. The decision to retire ships or move them on or sell them up to some other ship or fleet is, I think, a decision independent of the new ships coming online. I think there's a variety of factors involved that we're not privy to. But no, just because a new ship is coming on, they're not going to be like, oh gosh, we can only have X amount of ships. Not the case at all. Robert wants to know, do they update rooms when they amplify or refurbish, thinking of Oasis next year? So Robert, that's a really good question. Typically, Royal Caribbean does not announce room refurbishments or updates as part of like the press release. When they were like, hey, this ship is getting a whole new upgrade, usually room upgrades don't make the list changes. You know what I mean? It's not usually part of the of what they're trying to hype up, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. As an example, with Navigator of the Seas, this year, they did not. It was not room upgrades were not listed in the press release, but yet certain aspects of the room were updated. So there you go. Julie, do they have extra fancy or special themes for dinners in the main dining room on holidays? Yes, they do, Julie. What you could do, Julie, is check a past cruise compass. We have an archive of them at royalcaribbeanblog.com. Rafsky says, what do you know about the deal for a port in Grand Cayman? You know, I've seen the news of it, Rafsky. I actually linked to an article on yesterday's blog post that I made at royalcaribbeanblog.com, but I haven't seen anything from Royal Caribbean yet about it. Kobe says, if you have diabetes, you have to let them know beforehand before bringing needles and or medication on board. No, you're totally okay to bring it. In fact, what you should, though, do, Kobe, is if you are using needles and you have to dispose of them, ask for a Sharps container from your stateroom attendant. They can provide you one for there. Denise wants to know, are you allowed to use the equipment on the gym as the spin bikes on your own when there's not a class going on? You cannot use the spin bikes they use for a spin class, but there are usually bikes available for you to use. I'm not sure if they're spin bikes or just, regular bikes, stationary bikes. But usually the class equipment is not available to guests, Denise. Granted, I've never tried. And the other issue is that usually when there's not a class, they're kind of stowed away in a separate area. Let's see here. All right, 1993 Munster. If I booked a cruise in 2021 that is non-refundable and only put a $500 deposit down, is there any way I can change to a different cruise and transfer my deposit, or do I lose it? You can, so you can change the reservation. You can do all that. The thing is, you will incur a $100 per person change fee. So as an example, you've put $500 down. If you change, and there's two people on the reservation, if you change it to another ship, for that one change, you will then incur $200 change fee. Thus, you'll have a $300 deposit going with you. Does that make sense? You just can't get the money back, but you will. You know what I mean? You can't ask for I want $300 back minus the $500 minus the change fees. You can't get that money back ever. But yes, you can take the remaining balance and apply it towards another sailing. Charnel, a serious question. Will they show any luxury updates on cruises during early November? I expect they will, Charnel. It's just like Super Bowl or any special sporting events. They usually are cognizant of these things, and as long as they can show it from a legal broadcasting standpoint, because you can't broadcast like CNN in your house and let everybody in your neighborhood come watch it. It's illegal to do that. Same is true on cruise ships, but in a lot of situations we've seen they've been able to broadcast that. So, Paul, can they track the crowds on the ship through the WOW bands? I don't think Paul's walking down the hallway. I don't believe that is the case. I don't think there's two types of RFID, passive and active. I believe this type that you see in WOW bands are passive, meaning you have to hold up to a scanner in order for it to see you, as opposed to one that pulsates out like, boop, I'm here, boop, I'm here, boop, I'm here. I don't think it's the active. I think it's the passive. Evan, for a group of 14 people, what ship do you recommend? They're all great, dude. It's about that. You should look at other considerations. Where you want to go, what type of accommodations you want, what type of activities, entertainment, things to do on board the ship are important to you and your group. Vanessa says, how do you know the event's happening on the ship without having the internet package? Every day of your cruise, Vanessa, they deliver to your room a cruise compass. It's a paper newsletter. I don't think I have one over here with me. I think I threw my last ones out. But they give it to you every night in your room. So there's a paper compass there that prints it out and explains it to you. In addition to that, they my light just died. That's weird. In addition to that, there's digital cruise compasses around the ship. There's little wayfinders. You can also list what's going on there. Roz, if you're on an island for the day, can you use your phone just like you can at home without fees? You can use it. If you use it, it depends on your carrier, Roz. In most cases, the answer is no. But as an example, Roz, if you visit San Juan, Puerto Rico, or Puerto Rico in general, or St. Thomas, those are parts of the United States, and most U.S. carriers do allow you to do so. You should definitely check with your carrier, though. And Mr. Memes, you recommend negotiating at Cozumel, Mexico. Yeah, if you're in shops, yeah, I think it's pretty much standard issue there. Unless you're in the supermarket. JC wants to know, when will we see artist renderings of the Icon class? Brother, if I knew that, I wish I could tell you. I don't know the answer to that question. So unfortunately, I can't help you out there. Robert, we saved all our WoW bands. What all ships are they used on, assuming they can be reused? They can be reused. Harmony, Symphony, Quantum, Anthem, Ovation, Spectrum. I will tell you, though, Robert, On Harmony and Symphony, I've never had an issue reusing WoW bands. On Anthem, they gave me a hard time about it. Could have been the crew member I was talking to. Vanessa, do you just bring credit cards during excursions or only cash? I recommend bringing both. Vanessa, when I go on this is a really good question. When I go off on a port, I will bring a certain amount of cash and a credit card, one credit card to use. Credit card, if you lose a credit card, you're not liable for any of that, right? And you're good to go. If someone steals it or whatever, you're fine. The credit card company's got your back. If you lose cash, sorry, you lost out on it. So my recommendation is to bring both. I use cash for obviously small purchases, taxis, things of that nature. You will need that for those kind of micro transactions. But obviously, if you want to buy a souvenir or you're going out to a meal, credit cards are a good way to do it. Make sure though, if you use a credit card, you have one that has no foreign transaction fees, so you do not incur those. Micah with a super chat. Thank you, Micah. Very kind of you. Thank you. Micah, thanks for all the information going on in Enchantment of the Seas on the 26th. So excited, Micah. You're going to have an awesome time on that ship. Jace with the drink package. Is there any regulation on drink packages out of Galveston? Yeah, certain liquors and bars are not available on Embarkation Day, but fear not, Jane. On board the ship, you will still be able to get your drink on. It'll just be a little more limited. Once you leave the waters there of Galveston, everything else opens up. But there are some limitations on day one. But it's not to say you can't get anything to drink. That's not accurate. There will still be options for you. Susie, is Harmony coming back to Miami? There are no plans for Harmony of the Seas to return to Miami, as I'm aware of it currently. Halima, can you bring your own soda and water on the ship? You can bring up to 12 bottles or cans or whatever of non-alcoholic beverages, so soda or water, per stateroom, Halima. Pack it in your carry-on luggage. John Landers, any timeline for the Freedom of the Seas to be added to the new Royal Caribbean app? I'm not aware of any. Royal Caribbean has not published any kind of timeline as to what ship will get which app feature when or support for it. When it's available there. So, Manuel wants to know, why have prices for 2020 increased about 25% compared to 2019? Supply and demand, Manuel. People are booking cruises. A lot of people who love going on a cruise, and as a result, they get a lot of attention, and a lot of people are really excited for it. Good questions, guys. And our last question today is going to come from Todd Adair. What are pluses to purchasing next cruise on your cruise? Free money, my friend. By booking it on board, same price as on land. The difference is Royal Caribbean will give you extra onboard credit, free spending money to use there. So, and actually, I'm going to ask her one more question. Evan, what ships, restaurants, do you recommend for a group of 14 on a budget? Voyager class ships, or Voyager class ships are great. I would definitely recommend that. And buy a dining package, Evan, to take advantage. If you're on a budget, heck, skip specialty dining altogether. Just enjoy the main dining room. You'll love it over there. Guys, thanks again so much for joining me here. Really appreciate it. Every Monday, we are live right here on YouTube, hanging out with you guys. So make sure you join us here each and every time we are live. Really appreciate you spending time here. And if you're saying, wait a minute, Matt, I have more questions. I want more Royal Caribbean fun, news, information, advice. Check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Plenty more waiting for you guys over there. Until then, have a great rest of your week. Enjoy. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. See you guys.